Hey everyone, welcome back. I thought I'd walk you through another one of the paper issues challenges. This one was Sweet Talk, and for this one, it was about finding a saying or talking about the things that you love. They said you could use speech bubbles or those sweet candies for Valentine's Day. And I found a quote about daughters, and I had this picture from back in 2014 of my daughter that I found on my camera. It was, I think, a Snapchat filter back when Snapchat just started. And I just loved the colors in it. And I've been kind of hoarding this picture, and I thought, okay, it's time to do it. And what I'm showing you here is something I don't normally show you, which is kind of the process of how I go through to pick papers. So I have a big bin from IKEA that I showed you when I pulled it out of just the papers that I'm trying to use right now. And they are papers that were in kind of my stash. This particular set is like one of the mom kits, I think from Echo Park, the Crafty Girl, I'm not sure where that came from, and then the Studio Calico grab bag I got at the Thanksgiving sale. So it's a whole bunch of different random collections in there that I'm just trying to use right now. So the idea that I have is that I just stick stuff that's usually about the same color. So you'll see this one is a lot of pinks and blues and teals. Those are the colors that are in all of those different collections. So I put them together in that box from IKEA and I use those to pick from right now. And I still do other kits and stuff, but when I'm pulling paper, this is where I go to first. So you'll see I picked all of those different papers and they all have the same kind of color scheme. And now I'm going to sort through and decide which ones I want to keep. And I'm looking at it and I'm trying to find the picture. I'm looking at her picture and trying to decide and I don't want something that's too busy. And here's where I decide that background color of that quote I got off the internet is too blue. Because all of the paper that I'm pulling have more of a teal or a green hue to them, turquoise, and less blue. So I actually go to Adobe Photoshop and I reprint it and just kind of lighten it up and make it more green. And you're going to see me get that off of my printer in just a little bit. But I'm still pulling all the different collections and kind of picking the colors. And for me, it's a lot about color. When I pick papers, I like to just make sure I use papers that all have the same kind of colors and that they match. Um, I am really a big fan of using all of a collection and I like to use a collection together. But when I get down to two or three pieces of a collection, I put them in this bin and then I try to match them together via color. So you'll see like that mom paper and it's got the coffee and the minivan and like the ironing board. That is not appropriate to her picture. But what it does have is a line of hearts that are all the right colors. And I'm going to just cut that line of hearts off and use it with the heart paper because although they're two different collections, those hearts are all the same colors. So that's kind of how my mind works. It's more about finding the right color scheme than it is about the content of the paper or the kit when I'm doing this. So now I have the kind of wonky hearts and I have that really cool kind of floral paper that's kind of abstract flowers. And now I'm just going to start building this page. So I'm going to use that heart paper as the background or the matting, and I'm going to put the hearts there, the other hearts as underneath. And now I'm trying to decide what else I want to do. And this is a Felicity Jane paper. You can tell because of the scallop border. And I kind of want to have that scallop border. I like the way it looks. So I went ahead and cut off the border at the bottom. And what I'm going to do is use that as an anchor on the bottom to put the hearts on. So now I kind of have a multiple edge on the bottom of the page. And I am going to start with this background that I've gotten and I'm going to decide what it is I want on the page. And I like the hearts and I like the border strips and that saying. It's kind of the core part. And I've decided at this point that I'm not going to use any of that other paper, so I'm going to put it all away and it's just going to go right back in the bin. I did print that saying out, trying to get it to be the green, and I just left it center to show you that I printed it the exact same color again, which was kind of funny, kind of not funny, but eventually I'm going to get it the right color, and you'll see here in a second that I do actually print it the correct color so that I can, and there you go. Now, this is a little more green in the picture than it turns out, but I think it's a much better match for the colors on the paper than that kind of cornflower blue. But because I was upset about wasting photo paper twice, I printed it just on regular paper and printer paper, and I'm just going to cut it out and stick it on the back of that other one, the photo that I already cut out with the saying, so that I'm not wasting any more paper. So that's kind of a tip or a trick when when you've already screwed up once. If it's something like this and it's an embellishment and you can just put it on regular printer paper and not waste it, there's no reason to waste your resources on it. So I've got that. I'm going to trim it up so that it's all the right size. And now I have the base of the page again with the right color. And I think you could see there when you look at it and you compare it to those flowers, it's a much better match. I'm going to pop that up on foam, and this is just some of the leftover fun foam that I have. I am slowly running out of this. I just had to buy another pack of it from Amazon. And I know people talk about, Amazon's quality is not as great, but I mean, for the price, you just can't beat it. The other thing I had in that little container that I had from IKEA were these flower brads. Now I have these flower brads in all of these colors that match actually the paper that you're seeing right now, and I have just not been using them. Like, I've had them for years and years, and I'm on a mission now to use as many of these brads up as possible. So I have the metal word beautiful, and I put two of the floral brads in there, and I'm going to put that on the corner kind of to start a cluster on the bottom left of her picture. And I just like the idea of using up these supplies that I've had in there forever. And I know brads come and go as far as, fads in the scrapbooking, but I like just a little pop of metal. I always have, so I think it's fun. So I'm using the wrong tool for the job here. I am using my Cricut piercer um, pick, and I am going to poke a hole here through this to put one of the brads in. And in a second, you're going to see why you should never use the wrong hole for the job, wrong tool for the job, because I actually poke right into my finger and end up having to pause the video to go downstairs to get a band-aid. So, but I wanted to show this. See right there, you see it happen. I wanted to show this. There's the blood. So that, and there's me back with the band-aid. Um, you know, scrapbooking is, it's hard. And we all make mistakes. But I did come back, and after I put a band-aid on, because the worst fear was getting blood everywhere, because that won't come out of the paper. So now I'm going to put the brads back in to where they go, and I'm going to just attach them, and of course I have to go back with that tool, and I was much more careful that second time. Then I'm going to attach this down and just start kind of building the page up. So you're going to see me kind of just decide where I want everything. And a lot of times I use a sketch. This particular time I don't have a sketch. I'm just kind of working with the paper and the picture and kind of letting it guide me. Those of you that have been following me a while know that I am an engineer, so for me, kind of having instructions or a procedure or a sketch is a lot easier. So this kind of free form is it takes me a lot longer. So this is actually one of my, I think, longer process videos, even though it doesn't have a lot of technicality to it. But because for me it is a little bit harder to kind of come up with a design on my own. So for a lot of reasons, I'm really proud of how this layout turned out, because it was 100% a sketch that I came up with and that I did without anybody else. I toyed with that black, but because the background was brown, I thought the black was a little too harsh. I did like the idea of just having that one little scallop. This is kind of an end, I think, of I want to say it's Vicki Boutin, but I might be wrong. So you notice I got Paige Evans, I think Vicki Boutin. I know that is, Dear Lizzie, maybe? So I've got like 3 or 4 different designers, but they're all the same color. So just look, there's that pink, there's that yellow, that's a gold love. And they all kind of go together. And like I said, for me, it's all about colors. Then I got a sticker book, kind of a planner sticker book, at some point from one of my, I think it was a craft swap. And the sticker book has like all of the right colors also, and it has cute little flowers and sayings. So I just use those to kind of build up some of the clusters and just add a little flower there. And I thought it was neat just to have the realistic looking flowers interspersed with those graphic pops of color that are the flowers on the paper. And then for the title, I this particular sticker book also had letters, and they're kind of see-through, but I thought it worked still. So I'm just going to spell out my girl and put it on top because she is my girl. And as I am recording this, we just got a text message saying that she has been accepted to grad school at Northeastern, which is a big deal. So if you're listening to this, just know I'm a pretty proud mama right now. She's not sure exactly where she's going yet, but it's exciting. Um, so I'm putting down my girl, and then I'm going to add a couple of other cute little embellishments up there, but then that's going to be the page. So this started with just a simple challenge from Paper Issues to find a saying or use something that some sort of words or phrases that reminded you of Sweet Talk. And this particular one of my daughter, or the saying about the daughter, really seemed to go with this picture. I hope you guys have enjoyed this layout and watching my process. And if you're new here, please subscribe or like or just give me a comment. So here's the final page, and I'm really proud of how it turned out. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.